So, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think why you are already a refugee claimant, you can still go ahead and start making applications of that nature because your status have changed from whatever you were at the beginning. But if there's a public policy to that effect that allows that, it can also be possible. We should take note that all the time we have different types of public policies. For instance, during the COVID, refugee claimants whose cases were not decided yet were now given the opportunity to apply for humanitarian and compassionate grants applications based on their work experience here in Canada in the healthcare sector. But I don't think once you are a refugee claimant already, you can still go ahead and navigate these other applications that the person who has the question has mentioned.
Thank you. Like you can see from the chat, Barrister David stated that today's recording will be available to watch later on the YouTube channel at Fusion capital L Laws capital CA. It's on the chat. And I think while you're watching, also subscribe. So the next question, good evening everyone. Thank you so much for the wonderful information shared today. When is it advisable to renew work permits slated to expire March 2026?
Yes, you can renew your work permit at least, say, 90 days before the expiration of the work permit. But it depends on the work permit you are talking about. If you're a refugee claimant and you have a work permit as a result of an open work permit, as a result of your being a refugee claimant, you can still renew it at least within 30 days. So to enable you to receive it on time.
Thank you. So another one is situation where you have been here, delivered a baby, and also obtained some professional certification. Do you have to update that? Do you have to update that on your portal with your lawyer?
What? I don't know what kind of application the individual is talking about. Today we are here, we're engaged in relation to refugee claims. Yes, if you have a child and you are a refugee claimant, it is important to let your lawyer know, or if your condition have changed in one way or the other, so that your lawyer can update your file, not only your portal per se. There are other documents that are associated with refugee claim, like your basis of claim form, your narrative, all of that can be updated.
Thank you. And this one last, I think, not the least. When a work permit expires, when can your counsel help you to renew it? Anyway, you can still talk about it.
It depends on your retainer with your counsel. When I say that authoritatively because sometimes your counsel is not bound to assist you to renew your work permit. It is not as if when, but it is about whether you have that agreement with your counsel that I have a work permit that is expired. Can you renew it for me? For instance, if you have a coverage different from private retainer, you may have to pay counsel to assist you to renew your work permit. But it is all about understanding between you and your counsel.
Any other question as we call it a day?
Someone has asked another question. As a refugee claimant, can you apply for a professional course?
Yes, you can apply for a professional course, but be rest assured that it's not going to be government covered. If you can afford it in person, you can apply because you are not restricted. When they say you are restricted from doing school and all of that, does not mean that if you can afford to go to school or apply for a professional program, you cannot do that on your own.
Any other question? Barrister, What if, to add to that particular question, so does acquiring any certificate or going to school or paying out of your pocket to acquire a certificate or degree, does it add to, does it leverage or add to your chances of being, being approved of your status or, approved of your status, depending on the status?
Yes, well, the refugee claim generally engages in risk and danger to your life. It's a risk factor assessment. It's not a humanitarian and compassionate grants application. But it is also good to add your professional certificate as a supporting document to your claim, because from experience, I also noticed that some members get attracted to how they see you within the community, how they believe you'll be useful to the community. It is, at least I can say, personal to them, because it has nothing to do with the danger or the risk you face or you are likely going to face in your country.
That's a good one. Thank you so much. I think another one here is, what's the implication in the future if you withdraw your refugee claim?
If you withdraw your refugee claim and leave in the future, you can still make a refugee claim because you withdrew the refugee claim. It was not dispensed with before you withdrew it. But again, what you said in the past might also be used against you at any time, depending on where you are making the claim. Say you made a claim here in Canada and you exit from the country and you come back again and you're making a claim for the same reason or something similar. I think it is possible that you be excluded, but the fact that you made a refugee claim and withdrew it and you did not abandon it or otherwise was dispensed with and it did not succeed does not impact on you negatively.
Annie is looking for where to travel when she has not gotten the paper. Or maybe she's asking for someone. She said, as an asylum claimant, can you travel to the US or other countries aside from your country? And what document would you use to travel since they have your passports?
Okay, there's a distinction we need to make here. Yeah. As a refugee claimant, you cannot travel outside the country, but if you're a protected person, you can travel outside Canada other than your country where you claim that you suffer persecution. There's what is called travel document for protected persons and stateless individuals. You can apply for it as a protected person, and you can use that. It comes in form of a passport. However, it is not a passport per se. It is called travel document that you can use to travel to some countries where it is visa-free, or if you will need a visa, you have to apply for visa.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, Barrister Henry. We appreciate your time so much. Someone just dropped one here. Thank you, Prophet Chinedu. As a claimant, okay, he said, as a claimant, can you submit spousal application while you are yet to get dates for hearing?
Yes, you can. There are two different applications. If you are married and you wish your wife to sponsor you or your husband to sponsor you, you can apply for spousal sponsorship whilst you are waiting for your claim to be scheduled. What happens there is that if it depends on the ones that comes first. If your claim a date is given to you before the end, or before your spousal sponsorship is granted, it is advisable to make sure that you don't go answer your case, because it could also make you lose your status in the country, because the fact that you apply, also depending on the state where the spousal sponsorship is, does not constitute a statutory stay for you in Canada. So on the other hand, if you get the spousal sponsorship already granted and you have a permanent resident, the whole idea is that you are now being granted permanent residency in Canada. So you can decide to withdraw your refugee claim. Or alternatively, you can still go ahead and get the status. I know a lot of people who have both. But the only thing you cannot get together or two is a PRO itself. You can't get two permanent resident status. You get one protected person status and your spousal sponsorship gives you the PRO. Either one that you get the PRO one, but the PRO first will be the one that you will stay with, even though you still have a protected person status.
Wow, I think we'll call it a day. For Alimat, I don't know, you were asking when you can go to your country. The question is not clear here. Are you a protected person? What is your status currently, since you want to go to your home country?
Well, you cannot go to your home country where it depends if, of course, in most cases, you are running away from your home country because your life is in danger. And you cannot go back there as a protected person because that will now entirely mean your claim was falsified. And the immigration will use that against you at the port of entry, or you can become inadmissible to Canada on that grounds. But if you become a Canadian citizen, it's not as, of course, you're a Canadian citizen. I know a lot of people who made a refugee claim and were granted, they were previously protected persons, and they travel back to their home countries.
Oh, thank you so much for this fellowship review. Does employment status help as well? Does employment status, if you don't have your papers, first, I don't understand this. It's asking, does employment status help as well? How? I don't understand. So let's call it a day. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Barrister, for coming in,
No problem.
I
really appreciate all the speakers, including members of the audience. Thank you all for being with us this evening. And I hope we all meet at the in-person conference coming up on the 6th of December. We'll all be there and hope to see all of you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for attending and the questions.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
It was a very good, the engagement was powerful and the strength. I know everyone must have gained a lot from this. We'll also use it in, for our community or friends or those. Just spread the gospel out there, And for those who